Hello everybody. Next we're off to the Kingdom of Belgium for the return match against Genk. As with all of our Thursday night league away group matches, kick-offs at 5:45 p.m. on Thursday night. Coverage will be courtesy of Eyes Up Mother Brown and some channel called BT Sport if you like. Now it's only a few days since Daisy, the personal assistant with a beautiful smile, from whom I no longer have to remain socially distanced, did some fairly extensive research into their players, etc., so I don't think I'll bore you with the same details again. They're up there on the site somewhere. At the weekend, they put an end to a wretched spell of form where they'd lost their last three in the league, not to mention their pointless trip to Stratford. They then managed a 6-2 away win at Zulte Waregem. Waregem is more famous for being the place where the barge goes to, in the half-man, half-biscuit song, Ordinary to Enschede. Genk's goal scorers at the weekend were Ito Thorsvet, that's the son of the former Spurs player, Onuachu, Heinen, who got a brace, and Lookme. As far as Daisy could ascertain, the only injury issue they have appears to be the Colombian defender Carlos Cuesta, who's no relation to the chap on the coaching staff at Arsenal. Genk's Cuesta is out until mid-November, with an unspecified knock of some sort, so by and large, we should expect to see a similar lineup to the one we saw at the Olympic the other week. With not much to say about our opponents, we're going to make an early trip now to the wild and wacky world of association football. And there was a surprise decision as Tottenham sacked manager Nuno Espirito Santo, despite the former Wolves boss having gotten them up to 9th position. Former Inter manager Conte has now taken over, with the club having previously turned him down in the summer when he asked for a salary of £15 trillion, plus the same again in transfer funds, apparently. Or as Conte put it, I was too emotionally involved with Inter to take a new job. Yeah, right. Details of the new contract have yet to be leaked to the press, but the transfer kitty is said to be now reduced to whatever they can get for Harry Kane in January. Championship clubs have placed their bank managers on alert. Despite Nuno somehow keeping them in the top 10, it seems that Chairman Levy took the nickname given to their weekend match against Manchester United of El Sacchio quite literally, with a 3-0 defeat to their fellow basket cases being deemed to be just a touch too much. Still, they're split spoilt for choice. If Conte doesn't work out, the usual suspects of Bruce Pullis and McCarthy are all on the dole at the moment, I hear. Elsewhere, it was a bumper weekend of vintage PGMOL incompetence up and down the leagues, as Riley's depressingly useless crew found more and more unusual ways of showing just how dreadful they've become. There'll be more on Kavanagh and Atwell's gobsmackingly dreadful performance at Villa Park later on, but you've got to hand out the main prize to Alan Young, who, apart from somehow not issuing a second yellow to a Leyton Orient player when one was fully deserved, also somehow forgot to play 4 minutes of added time at the end of the first half. So the players came out for the second half and played 4 minutes and then changed ends. That weird noise you can hear is Mike Dean gnashing his teeth, wondering why he didn't think of that one. Well, let's move on to us, shall we? The consensus seems to be that we weren't at our best against a Villa side whose sole tactic seemed to be to kick for the corners and try and win a throw-in. That only really worked once, and Fabianski's fingertip save was enough to rescue us on that occasion. Both on-field and video officials had, well, poor games is probably overstating it, really, displaying an ignorance as they did of the laws of the game that VAR served only to highlight rather than to correct. The fact that that shirt pill on Zuma was reviewed and ignored would have been disturbing enough had that been the only foul up by Kavanagh and Atwell. However, it was the first of many. Quite how Hauser stayed on the pitch is a mystery. They did come out with a standard PGMOL lie to protect the match official explanation, which was that Hauser's arm was already there. Yes, it was already there just before he smashed it into Fornell's face. Where did they expect it to be? Any thoughts that there might be some deserved sanction for the officials went right out of the window, as less than 24 hours later, in a two-fingered salute to the game from PGMOL, Kavanagh was given the VAR duty for the Wolves against Everton match. Predictably, Villa boss Smith was in full deflection mode. That ball was going away from goal for the sending off. Well, yes, Dean, but not until your player had fouled Bowen, pushing him out that way. On the case of Hauser, his reaction was, well, the officials didn't believe it to be a red, which is an interesting display of 180-degree hypocrisy. His best one was the blaming of the officials for the third goal because Nakamba had been sent to the side for treatment after the Fornell's challenge. I mean, the camber rolled over so many times that he was probably more at danger from motion sickness than anything else. Seriously, Smith, wouldn't you be better off coaching your players to play football rather than trying to get them to get opponents sent off? Take a look at our fourth goal for starters, that might give you a clue. Post-match, the interview involving Johnson and Wright was a joy to watch. There were cheesy grins all around, and it was so good to see players enjoying themselves. Not that watching Spurs players mumbling about letting everyone down wasn't in its own way funny to watch, but that's a completely different type of amusement. The state of the group in this Thursday night league is largely favourable to us. We're currently top of the tree, whilst Genk, Rapid and Dinamo all fight over the crumbs behind us. Look out for a scramble to finish fourth rather than third, with third place gaining entry into the embarrassing Europa League alongside Tottenham and other teams so small that they don't even get a passing mention in the lyrics of Half Man, Half Biscuit songs. Given that we've got a tough one on Sunday, I'd expect the usual Europa changes to be rung. Areola in goal perhaps, Dawson and Diop in the middle of defence. And here's something, such has been Johnson's progress, maybe we'll see Soufal start at right back. Antonio will probably be looking at another rest, along with Deck, and some stretching of the legs for Noble will be filling the gap. Kral ought to be available post-Covid, so there may be a run-out for him. Whatever team we put out, we should still have far too much for them. The squad is buzzing at present, and the few moments that they had at the Olympic the other week were largely self-inflicted. So, for my prediction, I'm going to go for an away win. Please, Mr. Winston, could you take the £2.50 I was going to send to the Marvellous Nakamba Recovery Fund, and please put it on us to win 2-0. Enjoy the game.
Yes. Big knees up Mother Brown, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm regularly on the general discussion page. There's always someone who's got some information, so I love it. Yeah. It's great. Yes, it's excitement surrounded by imminent disappointment. That's what it mostly is.
Get on the forum at kumb.com. Come on, you irons.